Good afternoon, folks, and welcome. It's John from Maine Reviews again, and I'm delighted today to have two guests with me. I have Ilona from Sola Suites. Good afternoon, Ilona. Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
And I have Laura Avola, who, like myself, is a seasoned color tech stylist. And collectively today, we're going to share with you a lot of information and make some suggestions that I think that will help you to get through this very difficult time with this virus. Without further ado, Ilona, to speak about yourself, and then directly after that, Laura, I'll ask you to do the same.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ilona Reese. I'm a hairstylist for the last 25 years, and I rent a studio space inside Sola Salons at Leaside in Toronto, Ontario.
Thank you. Brilliant. And Laura, a little bit about you, please.
Hi, my name is Laura Avola. I'm a color technician at Capelli Hair Salon at Bayview Village. I've been in the industry for over 30 years and I still love doing what I do.
Thank you so much, ladies. I'm really looking forward to us doing this today because I think we've got some great information, and as I said earlier, some great tips to help these folks through these difficult times. So let's start. What can we do now? So during this shutdown, we spoke earlier, the three of us spoke about how important it was to stay in contact with our clients. Just briefly, I know that Laura, you made mention of some things that you were doing. Can you just speak a little bit about that for me?
Sure, it was actually just yesterday afternoon and it was so much fun. It was basically a virtual appointment with my client doing her own color and me guiding her step by step on how to apply it and where to put the color, and we were video chatting. And at the end of it, it was so nice. And the biggest thing that I took away from it was she said to me, I just miss seeing you so much, and just having this time with you was so special. I feel like we didn't miss an appointment. So it made her feel like we still had that connection. And it was so much fun just to see her again. And she really appreciates what I do now.
That's great. You know, that, and you're absolutely correct. And that kind of interaction and connection with your clients more than ever now is so critical. But jumping over to you, Ilona, you and I spoke, actually the three of us spoke just briefly the other day. And even though we don't advocate or promote trying to do or using professional products at home, Ilona, you came up with a solution that if you could please share with us in terms of a product and just in terms of the longevity of it.
Okay. I have been recommending, I mean, I'm not a proponent of drugstore products, but there's only one product that I do recommend to my clients, especially in this time, and which I have to a few of them. And it is from Shoppers or the drugstore, and it's Clairol Natural Instincts, and it is a ammonia-free temporary color. It washes out in 28 days. It's a great like Band-Aid solution at this time, but because it is ammonia free and it is a washout in 28 days, so it's not permanent.
That's great. I think that's a great tip. And again, I just want to really impress upon our audience that we're not advocating for the use of professional products at home because there's liability issues, there's many things. The other thing is we spoke the other day very briefly about DIY workshops. And I believe you just made reference to that, Laura, in terms of how you had your client, or you walked your client through the process of applying her color. Is there anything else that you've done during this challenging time as it relates to a DIY?
The only other thing is another friend of mine called the other day because her bangs were driving her absolutely crazy. And she was going to do one of the mishaps where her bangs would end up to here.
Oh.
So I basically just guided her, okay, just bring it down, and just gave her like a little quick tip on just cut them vertical and just cut just at the tips and don't go too far, you know. So little things like that, like even reaching out to your clients that you know their bangs really bother them and saying, look, you want a little tip, don't go cutting like crazy, you know. But I think the key thing in all of this is keeping an open line of communication with your clients, whether it be via text, email, Facebook, Instagram. Texting is obviously more personal, but I also took the time to go through my contact list and add my clients to my social media group. So we have a bit more of a connection there.
So all these things are very important, but I also want to make, I want to talk a little bit about the fact that we have all this time on our hands that we don't normally have. And it's a great opportunity to participate in continuing education. And one of the things I'd like to speak about briefly, and I'm going to hand that over to you, Ilona, is the Barbicide certification that's now available. Can you just speak a little bit about that for me, please?
Yeah, there's a link for people to go to the Barbicide website and take a certification. It takes about 20 minutes. You have to read all sorts of information, and there's 12 questions to answer. And if you get 10 out of the 12 correct, you pass. And they actually email you a certification with your name on it and a back to work downloadable workbook just for our own reference at the salon. But it's a great added value to have that now, even though we've all probably used Barbicide and know the fundamentals, but it's a great refresher, and it also gives you this actual certification that you can put in your salon, so all your clients know that you've done this for health and safety purposes. So I did mine last week, and I have a nice certificate that I'm going to frame, and a lot of people have been doing it. I've been watching the Barbicide site on Instagram, and they've been really posting. Lots of people are doing it now, so it would be good to do it now before you get back to the salon. So
that's a great tip, Ilona. Thank you for sharing that. So folks, while we have this spare time on our hands, there'll never be a better time for us to do this certification than right now. And I would expect as we move forward, it may be mandated by the Department of Health that that's something that we will all have to have been certified in. So just an FYI. The other thing is, during these challenging times, we're all struggling financially, and we're trying to come up with ways to generate revenue. And this is a great time for us to talk about or think about, if we don't currently have e-commerce on our site, it may be something we want to entertain. And Ilona, again, I'd like to defer to you, because we had a conversation earlier where you shared with me that you developed gift certificates, and then you had, I'm not quite sure, the revenue exchange. So if you could just expand on that a little bit for me, please.
Yeah, so I created a little gift certificate on my Pages document app on my phone, and when a client has asked me what for amount wise, I asked them how much amount they would like to purchase for their gift certificate, and then I create the gift certificate, and they e-transfer me the money, and I email them the gift certificate. So it's all through emailing, and when they come back, when we get back to work, now they have a gift certificate to use once we get back to the salon. And it also helps to bring in revenue at this time that we're kind of struggling and waiting to get back at work.
Now, Laura, do you have anything that you want to add to that as it relates to generating revenue in these challenging times for salons?
As far as generating revenue, we all know that a lot of the salons are doing curbside, but I think where a lot of salons in the past and in history, obviously, I think retail sales have never been looked at properly from all salon points of view. And I think if salon owners would maybe focus on picking up their retail sales and promoting hair care packages at home for their clients with shampoos, conditioners, hairsprays, the whole deal, giving like a package deal of products that they could use at home and maybe generating some revenue that way.
I think that's a great idea. And you know what? Extending opportunities or invitations to your clients via Instagram or Facebook, however you choose, whatever platform, and extending invitations to have an online or face-to-face consultation with them. Because going back to what you just made mention of, Laura, as a result of that conversation or that FaceTime consultation with your client, you may identify opportunities to recommend product that'll get them through these challenging times. And not only that, again, it keeps the channels of communication open so that when the time comes and they start to open the economy gradually, the likelihood is that that client is going to be, they're going to be chomping at the bit to get in your chair.
Right.
I want to speak a little bit. At Main Reviews, our whole objective, our whole commitment is for salons and suites, and we have solutions in many areas as it relates to marketing, web design, and e-commerce. So if any of you are out there feeling challenged in any of these areas, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to support you. Is there anything else, ladies, that you feel that we might want to add that? Before we do, I'm sorry, there's one thing I want to share with you. I shared before we went live with Ilona, a very dear friend of mine who's a salon owner that used to be a coworker of mine. He did an interview, if you will, last night with his daughter who had shoulder length hair, and the question he posed to her was, he said, you know, our clients are looking for answers. They want suggestions as to how they can maintain their hair until they have an opportunity to see their stylist or colorist again. So he said, what I'd like you to do is brush your hair. So she brushed her hair. And then what he had her do was pull it back in a scrunchie and a ponytail. And then after she did that, he goes, folks, that's what we would like you to do till you have the opportunity to see us. And I thought that that was so well done. And those are the kind of messages we need to be sending out there. Positive messages, and just letting our clients, you know what, we'll be back soon. But I'm sorry, is there anything that anybody would like to add?
I'm just thinking, like, even moving forward, John, with the FaceTime, I think it's a great way for us to even use that tool moving forward again, when we get back into the salon to do the consultations before these disasters end up back in our chairs. So I think FaceTiming is a very valuable tool now and when the salons get to the reopening stage.
I agree. Alona, is there anything else that you'd like to add in closing?
Yeah, no, I same thing. I think that definitely FaceTiming, be more interactive with our clients, and in regards to keeping in touch and that sort of thing. I think that at this time, that's one of our biggest things that we can do, is just keep in touch and make sure that our clients are reassured that, you know, we will be taking care of them very soon.
I think of all the messages that we're trying to put out there, folks, I know that these are very trying times, but try to stay optimistic. Things will get better. Please know that you do have a support system in us with Main Reviews. We'll support you in any way we can. Please know that this video will be uploaded to the Main Reviews website, as well as to the SOLA website, where Ilona is a tenant there. And it will also be uploaded to the SOLA website, as well as YouTube. So all of our contact information is here from myself, Ilona, and Laura. And I really hope that today we provided you with some information that you can take using forward, that will get you through these very challenging times. Until then, Ilona, Laura, I want to thank you very much for your time today. Greatly appreciate it. And folks, I'm sure you'll be hearing from us again soon. And please be careful, be safe, and be optimistic. Until then, take care, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.